Alright. So first thing we always look at is your grip. When we, the great thing that we do here is that we teach lots of tour players, and even the ones that we don't teach, we have them all on film. So we use them, we research and see what all the best players in the world do. And when we look at all the tour players, we see that there's a lot of different grips that are very successful. So we're just kind of making observations on your grip right now, not necessarily saying we're going to change anything, but just want to take a look. If the club face is square on the way down to the ball, we don't care how you hold it. That's the whole purpose of your grip, is to have a square club face. So just going to make some observations here. So I thought kind of in your process for putting your hands on, definitely, someone taught you to move that left hand quite a bit over. I can tell you kind of like a routine for
bugging a stronger grip.
Yeah.
That's why my ball's so right.
Yeah, it's always the better way to err would be to have your hands further over a stronger position on the club. Grip looks pretty darn good overall. Some of the things we look for in a good grip, this crease or this V that's formed right there between your thumb and your index finger, we want that to go up to your right shoulder, which it is there, really, really good. The right hand, same thing. Yours is going a little under your right shoulder, which that would tend to promote a little bit more of that would close the club face more, which for you, if you're tending to miss them off to the right a little bit, that's good. That's the side to arrow in there. The other way we can always check the grip is we do a knuckle count here. For you, we can see 1 knuckle, we can see 2 knuckles, and we can even see a little bit of the third, and that's really, really good sign for us there. So grip looks pretty darn good. Probably not going to tinker with it too much. So this shot ended up going a little bit to the right. It had a little bit of a left to right ball flight on it. I'm just going to play through your swing a couple times here. Yellow flag is our target.
I'm throwing a club out. This should come way see that?
Lots of good things. Honestly, you got lots of good things. I mean, you hit it. The one great thing is you hit it in the center of the club face. Pretty darn important to hit the ball well. Your contact, even though the overall shape of your swing, we can make it a little bit more efficient. Did a good job of. You hit this right off the center of the face, and it ended up being a pretty decent shot. It went a little bit left to right, and it ended up started left, and you kind of cut over to the right, and ended up.
See this chicken wing thing?
Well, there's definitely some things we can do better. I mean, that's why you're here. Let's take a look at your second swing here.
I've also been trying to focus on staying still, rather than moving my head and swaying.
Alright, so I'm going to put some lines here in a minute for us to monitor where the club's going, but just the first thing we're always looking at from this angle is your setup. Right, so a couple things that I noticed is you've got your hands set very, very high at address. What I mean by that, when we draw that line right up your shaft there, that's called the shaft plane. For almost all tour players, when we draw that line up, it would hit them more in the belt buckle. The angle of the shaft.
Right.
And why that's really, really important is because you're going to see your tendency right off the bat is to take the club well to the inside on the way back. The higher your hands are at address, the more they sit up this way. That encourages the club to come back inside. The lower they are at address, that would be more players that take the club to the outside. So that would be a really, really important.
So they should be hanging. My hands should be hanging.
Yeah, they're hanging there, but I'm going to show you. We also in your posture, you're standing a little erect, like looks like you're standing very, very tall. You're doing a lot of things well in your posture. You got a little bit of knee flex. You got your rear end out nicely there. But your spine angle is a little bit too tall. So I'm going to pull up.
I had already released the club before I got to the ball. I released the club like back here.
Probably 99% of the students we teach that do a little bit of that. That will give you more power if you have a little bit more, we call it lag, right? It'll give you a little bit more power, but really the main thing that it does for you is it helps you to strike ball first each time instead of like turf and then ball or thin shot.
Okay.
This is Lorena here. So you can see in her dress there, see how her shoulders are.
Oh yeah.
Her shoulders are a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got a little too much of this at the start here.
Huh.
And again, just by us changing the angle that club's sitting on, it's going to improve. A lot of your setup stuff is just going to improve right off the bat. I'm going to put up these same lines here for Lorena. #1 player in the world right now for the last couple of years.
I'm changing a lot more than she does.
They're kind of a funky head move on the down.
Oh, yeah.
You see how far her left leg there is shifting forward of these lines. So in the backswing, she's just rotating around her right leg, right? So still lots of weight on the inside there. Then the downswing, your lower body starts.
Yeah.
And see how far in front? That's how she's shifting her weight. That's why she hits it so far. Now, #1 thing we got to work on today, without a doubt, watch her hands on the way through.
Turning it over, yeah.
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 So at this point, you've got your left hand is on top here. Hers is underneath. So this is going to equal, unless you had a crazy, crazy strong grip, this is going to equal a lot of shots to the right for you. Right? Good finish. I mean, you do a lot of really, really good things. Good balanced finish there, weight on your left side. But #1, we got to get the angle of the club right off the bat. We got to get it set up a little bit better. Right? That would be our #1 goal for the setup. And then in the swing, I'm going to teaching you to let your hands roll over a little bit. Does that make sense? All right.